the short time that I have known him. We it's funny. I'd seen the VEG, which is down in the River Market, just because I eat there often, and I'm not a vegetarian. I'll admit that, or a vegan, and so there's not a huge incentive for me to usually just stop by and eat some food there. But I was at this conference this past weekend. It's called Made by Few, and it had a bunch of folks in town from all over the country. And a lot of people's perceptions about Little Rock and Arkansas is that we're very traditional, we're all Southern country bred, we only eat fried food, all this stuff, and a lot of those things seem somewhat backwards to folks coming in from like California, East Coast, West Coast, and they don't expect very much out of coming here. But one of the things that surprised them was that we had the VEG actually cater some of the food. And it was vegan food, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we can't believe this is so cool," and they were blown away by it. And so that's really amazing that we were able to represent that kind of cultural piece that a lot of people look for here in Little Rock. And actually, you guys are the first completely vegan, right? And so that's a really cool thing. But on top of that, because I saw them at the conference, I went over and paid a visit and asked them about their menu a little bit. And I try and eat lots of veggies and high protein. And I was asking a lot about their menu, and I didn't want carbs and stuff like this. And he was like, if there's nothing on the menu, send me some recipes and I'll figure something out. So to me that was really cool, and I'm really excited that you're presenting and telling us your story. So without further ado, we're gonna hear about the VEG.
Thank you. Good morning, I guess. How are y'all doing? Did y'all like the cookies? Yeah, well, they're all vegan. So there's no dairy. Vegan means no dairy, no eggs, no animal products whatsoever. So like we don't even use honey. And that's true. Well, what he said about the if you have a special diet, we'll accommodate. But anyway, how we got started. I hit 30 and I was waiting tables, right? So I said, we were looking for something. And I was living in Block 2, across the street, and a neighbor moved in. And he's back there, sitting right there. His name's Jamel Denham. And he's a 6-year vegan. So me and my son were living in our apartment, and we made good friends. A couple of weeks went by. I did not know he was vegan for a while until we went around hanging out, and I'd be picking up Wendy's and, stopping getting places to eat. And he'd wait and go to Whole Foods, and I wait. And I was, what's up, man? What's going on? He's like, there was nowhere for him to go eat. At the same time, I go over his house every once in a while and eat something, and it'll be delicious. He'd make like some lasagna or those cookies. So one day I was like, I've always been a pretty good salesman. So I ate that cookie, and I said, man, this is one of the best cookies I ever had. You sure you're off your diet, man? There got to be eggs and milk in this thing. And he's like, no eggs. I said, I could sell this. And that's where it started. Straight up, that was it. That's where it went down. It was like, I could sell this. If that's what it is, and it's a niche market, and that's your only diet, then there's other people out there like this. So at that same time, I'm starting to get these little, just stuff started happening. I'm walking down the street, and this lady come walking by with her kids, and the kid says, I want some ice cream. And she says, well, no, we have to wait. I just heard it. It was crazy. You'll start to, I guess it's hypersensitivity or whatever, but you start to notice these things when it's in the back of your mind. And it brought me to grips that some of those things that you have that's a good idea. You have a good idea, and then you don't go with it. Then you see it on TV like 2 months later, and you're like, oh, man, I would have, if I would have put that out, I would have, been rich. Well, I got tired of that. And then so I kept hearing this. And then the next day I saw that Beyonce and Jay-Z went vegan for a month. And then so I'm like, okay, whatever, let's do it, right? So what we did was we eventually called the Good Ass Vegan Cookie Company, right? Because right, that's what it was. So I went to 10,000 Villages. I bought a basket, and we put like pictures of Einstein prints. We just wanted, because we weren't making any money, so we just be cool. So we wanted to just do what we wanted to do. And I went around handing out cookies. And I just handed them out, walked down the street. I'm still waiting tables, and a few people liked them. And it was in Boulevard one day, and the lady says, I said, well, do you have any vegan cookie options or whatever? She says, no, we don't. I said, well, have you heard of the Good? And she says, finished. It's a good-ass vegan cookie. I love those, right? And I'm like, okay. So, long story short, actually, it's going to be a long story regardless. But and we started a little consignment thing, and it went well, but we didn't know anything about packaging. They were melting. I was replacing them. I'm going back to Jamel. Jamel's like, man, I'm not making them more cookies. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm like, yo, they love them, but they're melting in the daytime. And so we kind of let it sizzle out for a while. And then so we were waiting tables on waiting tables. And finally I said, well, I'm 30 and I can't do this forever. I'm going to break my back trying to support my family. I can't eat like this. I can, and it'd be cool, but what about all the dreams I had? What's going to get me there? You know what I mean? So let's go back to this vegan thing. So the first thing I thought was, is there a need? So I did a little research. And a lot of people said, you know, go get your demographics and stuff. But I had to look at our town, our specific town, because it's Arkansas and it is the South. But then I noticed all the economic growth coming down in the downtown area. And with that comes, it comes the other side. You get the arts and things like that. That starts to thrive. When it looks like Arkansas is trying to open up the door to the money and outside influences. I said, so this is the now time. I saw the laws are changing. You know what I mean? I just seen a progression. So I said, let me strike this, right? So we went down to the river market and found out what they required, what they wanted, a track record. They wanted to see what we got. Well, we had nothing. I made a logo. You know, the backstory, I used to DJ, so I used to make my own flyers and stuff like that, a little Photoshop. So I said, well, she told us what we needed. I said, well, let's create that. I didn't go for the short term. I knew it would take me a couple years, but I only wanted 2 years. I needed to do this quick. So what we did was we took the logo, we made some cookies, we wrapped them up in some nice wrap. We went to where do we get the jars from? From Hobby Lobby. Went down to Hobby Lobby. They got that 40% off coupon. We go through the line. Go to the car. He goes in, buys 2 more. I go back in, buy 2 more, and go back in and buy 2 more, right? So, because we broke. We don't have any money. Once again, we doing this, for free now. We're branding. I learned branding by, symbols. People putting it out there, brand recognition. These things, but you don't know these things. There's a skill set that you have, and you're applying your life to something else, but really you're good at something else. People say do what you're passionate about. Well, maybe what you're passionate about won't make money in the market, but there's other things that you are passionate about or just good at. You might have went to school for accounting, but you're good at, you like this and you're semi-good at it. But anyway, so we started branding. So what we did was, and in some of the pictures, we went like to the Times. I made sure I went to the Times, I went to the Sink, and just gave them free cookies. And anytime I saw an opportunity to go network and meet something like the Med Week that they had here, Ms. Parks invited me to, I came down and networked. And didn't have anything, no company, no LLC, no tax ID, anything. So my philosophy was do everything that if you don't have the money, do everything that's free first. Do it. And I brought, it's back there, it's somewhere around here, I bought this notebook. And my son watched me. I put everything in the notebook, just planning. I didn't know what ingredients to use, anything. I'm just writing down all the vegetables I know. Whatever it is, just streaming in this book. Every day I wrote in the book. I got home, I got a bad tip, bad customer. I didn't get mad, smile, and go right in my book when I got to the house. So after so long, people started calling us for events and festivals and stuff. So here we are. We're like, oh, man, we built something, and now they expect something. Like now it's more than cookies. Somebody calls, say, hey, would you like to, do this festival? And we're like, sure, we'll do it. And I go back to him. He's like, what you tell him we could do it for, man? Well, I don't know. What are we charging? What is this? What? And, so I'm like, yeah, we got to do it, man. And we're there now, right? He's like, no, we're not there. But I was like, let's do it. So we do the festival. We're sloppy. We're doing stuff everywhere, but people seem to like it, right? So and we're like, every time every time if it's a good idea and you push it and push and push it, you'll start to see yourself win. It got to a point where someone called us for catering for 60 people. And so here we are again. This is no LLC, none of this stuff. And we're like, man, are we breaking the law? We don't have, what are the licenses is required for all this? Just like, forget it, just do it. It's a good thing, you know what I mean? Let's don't knock the hustle. We just do it, So we did it. We put out 60, we said we're going to do cookies, we're going to do baked potatoes and salads. And, we just hit Sam's up and just hit some recipes and went crazy. So, and so then we built a little Facebook, social media. And people started commenting on our Facebook page of how like the food. So what I did was I took all the little quips that they put, all the comments, and I saved them because I knew I had to do a proposal for the River Market later. They wanted a proposal. So everything we got, we took it to the Times. If you got some cookies, you took a picture. And that was it. It's like, hey, would you like vegan cookies? Oh, yeah, thank you. How much? No, it's free. So I'm taking a picture. Boom. Photogenic. If I thought you were somebody or in a place that I needed, I took advantage. I strictly, went down to the people that I thought the places that I could use. So all those pictures and all that walking and this and all this and that and this and that came down to submit this proposal. So we put the proposal together and we made sure that it was, eye-catching or whatever. And when they opened it, it looked like we've been busy for a while, And so I remember it's a funny story. It was going so well that at one point when we submitted the proposal, and it took 2 years for them to get back with us with it, that we went somewhere and he said, man, when are they going to tell you no? And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel. You know what I mean? Like every time somebody says, yes, you're called to stand up and do what you said you were going to do. It turns from a dream to a reality. And once that point goes, then it's like, it's kind of, you're hesitant, but you got to it's like, or you got 50 orders. What are you going to do now? You were just talking a second ago. Now, are you really going to do it? The dream might come true. Or are you going to step into it? So I was like, man, I want them to tell me no, too, so we can sit down and go through our regular lives. But no. So I guess they were impressed, and we fed them. And they said, let's go. Now, we still don't have any money. So now we got to build a place. We got to build a shop, right? Go back to mail. Man, we don't have any money, right? I was like, yeah, we don't have any money, right? So he says, with it. So another good thing is a good partner. We fit. I talk. I don't mind talking to people, you know what I mean? My man is an artist, you know what I'm saying? He's freaking genius, you know what I mean? I knew that what he puts out, if I watched him and I could basically put his life in something, you know what I mean? I'm sitting looking at him like, okay, like for instance, there was this reclaimed wood, you know what I mean? That's our countertop. We bought a countertop from Jay's Pizza, and then he was like, yo, reclaimed wood would be dope. And I said, okay, I don't know nothing about reclaimed wood. He starts picking up wood from all over the place. So he brings it. I didn't know the vision. Then we said, okay, let's rock with it. Coolest freaking countertop I ever saw in my life. You know what I mean? For cheap, for really cheap. Some of my friends from the neighborhood showed up to put it in. So that sweat equity counts for a lot also. If you don't have the funds, you could build it. We went to a sign company and asked them what kind of sign we wanted. And they told us to make us a foam sign. It was like $450. We don't have $450. So we said, we'll make it. So we went and got some foam blocks from Hobby Lobby, cut them out in our logo style. That's it right there. We cut it out. We drew it, had a friend draw it for us, Mike, from my neighborhood. And then we took it to an upholsterer and had him upholster it in AstroTurf. And so that ran us about $75 to $100. So that's us building it and putting it up. This is all, that's just 10 roofing from. So I didn't know that this is the new trend in decorating. He did, I just trusted my partner and what he went with. So just a great team also. So we built it, and then we opened, and it rained the first couple days. And then on that third, backtrack, we hired a chef, and she didn't show up the first day. So people were there, and they were waiting on the VEG to open. And so we're like, what do we do, right? We didn't know any recipes. I got way ahead of myself. I told her, I'm pay her $13 an hour. She's ready. She made all the recipes. We gave her a budget. She bought all this stuff. I go in there. I don't know what nothing is. We're standing there. They're like, what do you want? It was like, we'll bake you a potato. I'm sorry, we're closed. And so that wasn't a good look. So I was kind of pissed. He was pissed. And we were like, yo, we got to learn everything about this thing. Your hat changes. You go from marketer to financier to whatever the heck. Yeah, to chef. Thank you. You know what I mean? Carpenter, whatever it is. You're going to have to get it there. You can't sit back and say, yo, I'll start delegating until you get, I guess, I don't know when that happens. You know what I mean? But, that would be cool. But, so we developed some recipes, and we went and we put it together, and people started rolling in. And because of the branding that we did before on social media and being out in the public, people were coming in and anticipating. So here we are again. I'm not running out of time.
I got a quick question real quick. So we actually let's spend about 5 minutes talking about your menu.
Okay, all right.
And that'll be that. These are the questions we'll probably want to just cover real quick. So,
Okay.
if you guys have any questions about menu stuff,
Okay.
let's go through that real quick.
Okay,
So,
cool. Our menu, we wanted to make sure it wasn't typically your typical vegan menu or vegetarian, because we know we're in the South and people, like you said, likes, you know, what we eat here. You know, I wasn't a vegan. You know, I'm veganish, as I call it, right? So, you know, I need lasagna, I need cookies, I need this and that and this and that, just a better option, you know. And so that's what we strive to do. So, you know, we have a smoothie called Good Ass Smoothie, and we have some soup, lentil soup, and we've got some really donuts, you know, I'm making, and, you know, we have very healthy options. We have raw options, you know, for people who just eat raw. There's a group out there who just eats raw food, you know, so it runs the gambit, and we'll change it daily. I'll wake up, we got cinnamon rolls today. I woke up my son, they call it Cinnamon Browns. His nickname is Brown. They're Spencer Browns, right? He says, yeah, use some cinnamon rolls. I'm like, okay, whatever, let's do it. They went crazy, you know what I mean? It sounds good, cinnamon rolls, vegan cinnamon rolls. You know, they're full of sugar and calories, right? But one thing about it, you're not getting all that animal fat clogging up your. So it's a better option, is what we're striving to do. And so I think that's, you know what I mean. That's it.
Thank you, and
Thank
it's Saeem
yeah.
Swift. So thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Does anybody have a quick question before we close up for the week about the veg, their menu? They're in the River Market. I'm probably going to go get. Do you guys have the spring rolls today? Yeah. I'm going to go eat some spring rolls today. So if anybody wants to join me for that, does anybody have any questions? Say what? Oh.
Our hours are 9 to 5. The River Market closes at 6, so we're usually there to 5:30. Actually, listen. No, actually, what we're going to do is, what we're thinking is, when we're driving here, we've got a recipe. We're going to do like these cauliflower wings. And so I was walking here and I saw advertisement for football season, and I'm like, that's dope. We could do wings, like a wing thing, like a party thing, because we're looking into catering. We want to get more into catering because the checks are bigger, right? So we're like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, we could dip in sauce or something. And that's the thing, like community, like people pulling their resources, small businesses, because then that's networking. You know what I mean? If I can put his barbecue sauce on my counter, you know, then that's a brand recognition. So when he goes there and he got my cookies, or he does an event and he takes his ribs and he's got some of my stuff, then some of the people there are like, well, I don't eat meat, but I've got the VEG. And then people are like, I love this barbecue sauce. So it all works, and it's all local. So yeah, I try to make anything fit. You know what I mean? All right.
Okay, so one real basic question.
Yes,
Where
ma'am.
are you actually in the River Market?
We're actually inside the River Market,
Okay.
so just inside the eatery. I don't know if you know where Pizza J's was currently, but
okay.
we took their place, and they moved across the way to a bigger location.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, what's the one thing we can do to help you as a business in our Little Art community?
Let's make it cool, like my man says. The better we can bring, because I grew up here, and the whole time I've been here, I've always heard, there's no opportunity in Arkansas. I'm moving to Texas, I'm moving to Atlanta, I'm moving to New York, but really all the opportunity is in Arkansas, right? Because we know that if we move to a bigger state, y'all clap, man, that's crazy, I gotta chill, right? So, right, if we move to a bigger state, I can't go to California and open a vegan restaurant because there's a dime a dozen, but I could do it here. So if we all just use our ideas and be creative, and we worry about the funding later, because if it's cool, somebody else is going to think it's cool, and they're going to support you. You know what I mean? So just put out good product, good work, be friendly, be nice, be kind, and you know what I mean? People with the commerce will come as far as the dollars. So y'all help us make it cool, man. That's what we can do.
Awesome. Well, let's do it. All right, Sam. I appreciate it, man.